Hi everyone, my name's Donkey and today we're back on the RTS project. So in the last video we were having a few little complications whereby we had two units like this and we had incredibly long bars like that. Almost like it was double, and if we added another unit it would get even longer. So that of course was not a massive problem and it's fixed quite easily. So if you go into your object basic unit in your draw event, it should be var mine time here, which has something to do with the multiplier, which has something to do with the drawing of the box. And basically, instead of instance number, we just need to change this to self.units, exactly like we did with everything else before. And we should now see that that works a lot nicer. If we spawn in 2 units, it should only take up 1 each, and if we add 2, this will go a lot quicker, but it'll still only do the same distance in terms of boxes. So that's working quite nicely, I would say. I guess what we need to do now is start making some boxes to actually click on and deselect or select our different units, so to speak. So I've just got to find out where. I think we can get rid of this for the moment as well. Not too important. I don't think it's there actually. Might be in controller. Let's check. Nope. Maybe it's. I don't think it's tile center. Basic unit. We can get rid of this as well. In fact, this whole bit. And we need to find the last bit, because basically somewhere we draw our little bit at the bottom which tells us our units, and it's none of them. I think it'd be in one of those two. I'll just check we've not skipped over something. String units, there it is. So if we just comment that out for the moment, we should now see instead that there's just an empty box. Yeah, when we select them. Okay, and we got rid of the unit things, so it looks more like a proper looking game. So now what we need to do is add or turn this into more of a button instead, and then when we add another unit and we select 2 units, this turns into a bigger looking button. So I think just quickly we might. Okay, we have a building button. Will that do? Return tile. What's that returning? Okay, that's not exactly what we want, to be honest. Let's just go ahead and make our own button. So instead of drawing the rectangle, we're going to nick some stuff out of that, but instead we're going to, well, actually we could probably just use this whole thing, to be honest. And let's just change it into being a round rectangle. A little bit like that. X1, still the same. X2, yep. So instead of it being an outline, we're going to have it to be solid. So now we should run that. We should see a box. There we go. That's going to be our button. Now, so when we click it like that, it should deselect it. At the moment it is deselecting it, but it's actually just deselecting everything, which, you know, is not ideal. So another thing, yeah, we need to make sure that this bit is not included in our selection, just like the buttons are. We'll do that after though. We'll make the buttons working first, and then we'll do the selection bit afterwards. Even though realistically we need to do both before anything will happen. So here we're just gonna make our box be exactly the same on either side. So just by copying these variables kind of here, and here we just need to plus box width div2 divided by 2, and this should make us a nice little round rectangle box, or not, depending on how you want to look at it. I think here we need to divide by 2 just like that as well. So whenever we see, basically these should be exactly the same, but instead of being W port, it should be H port on the Y ones. Okay, and we run this and should get a box. It should be pretty big and it's in the middle. Okay, right. Probably not the place we want it to be. I'm probably a little bit big. So let's just half the width and let's shift the whole thing down a little bit. To do that, we're just going to add to the Y's. So here, we're just going to add a constant, like, I don't know, 200, and just add the same constant on at the end. That won't change the actual box size, it'll just move it down by 200, basically. Yeah, maybe a bit further, maybe change that to 300. And we'll leave it at that because we're not that bothered about where it is and whatnot. Yeah, you know, that'll do. So what we want to do is have one of these for each unit. So if we've got 2 units like we do now, we want to highlight that and have 2 boxes instead of just one. Yes, the way we're going to do this is for iron rain. That's the wrong. Ignore that. That was the wrong language there. For var I equals 0, I is going to be less than the length of units, I think. Is units an array or a grid? I forget. An array. Okay, so can't remember how we do arrays anymore. Array length 1D. Units. And then we want to increase it. It's a pretty simple loop. Basically this will loop through every single one of our units. Basically the length of our units is going to loop that many times. Now here comes the slightly tricky bit, of course, because if we just do this, great, nothing will really happen, because we're still drawing the same box in the same location. All we just get is weird things going on. And yet nothing really happens with our box. You see, nothing changes. It's just 3 boxes on top of each other. So what we need to do is make these all offset a little bit from each other. And there's several ways of doing this. I'm trying to think of the best way of doing it so that they're always centered. And I'm kind of struggling at the moment. Let me just think. We could say that there's sort of a predefined area. That's one way of doing it. So if we say, let's think how long our bottom bit is. Let's say it's like 500 along the bottom, right? So if we did 500 divided by 50, of course in this case that's going to be it's going to be 10, right? So we're going to have 10 different spots for our boxes. So we're going to have one directly in the middle, and then we kind of want to offset them outwards from there. That's one way of doing it. Are we going to do it that way? Probably not. I think for the moment we'll just keep it really simple. So we'll just say we'll just start from the middle and work our way across with the amount of units we have. So the way we'll do this is here on the x's, just like we're done with the y. Instead of adding a constant though, we're just going to add I, which is the unit we're on at the moment, times by like, and then we'll put this in brackets, box width times 1.5. Okay, and we'll just copy this as well. So what this will do is it will give us one box width, which would make there be no gap, and then plus half a box width. So there'll be half a box width of gap in between each one, and we copy that in there because it's a constant and it's adding to both sides like a translation. We should do that. Our first one is in the same place. We add another one in though, and there you go. There's the half box width. We add 3 in, and then we get 3 boxes. Add another one, 4 boxes. And what we want to do is that when we click one of these, it deselects them instead of just deselecting all of them like it does at the moment. So what we'll probably do as well at some point is make this work a lot nicer so that they offset always equal amounts. For the moment we've got those boxes kind of nicely done now. We can delete that. what we'll do in the next video is make it so that it doesn't count as the selection area, so it doesn't just deselect everything when you press any one of those buttons, and then we'll probably start to get onto the separation aspect, which shouldn't take too long, to be honest. So anyway, that's going to be it for this video. If you like this video, remember to like, subscribe, or do you guys want to do, and I'll talk to you in the next one.